Newgrange is a passage tomb. It's one of 40 passage tombs in the Boyne Valley. It's probably the most famous of the sites, but it's not even the largest. The largest is Knowth, which is situated behind Newgrange. There are three great tombs: Knowth, Newgrange, and Dowth. Dowth is situated around 3 kilometers in this direction, but not visible from here. Until recently, all of these sites simply appear to be part of the local landscape. For example, Newgrange, right into the 1960s. Photographs were taken here showing cattle grazing on top of the tomb. There was no demarcation or division between natural and man-made until the mid to late 60s, when the archaeological work commenced here. However, we have known of this site's existence since the year 1699. In that year, a man called Charles Campbell rediscovered this place. Not because he was interested in history, rather he was interested in profit. Campbell had been granted the lands of the Boyne Valley shortly after the Battle of the Boyne. The original landowners were moved on, that's putting it politely, into control. He wanted to improve local road networks. If you're going to build new roads, you need stone. To get that stone, you need quarries. One of the sites chosen to act as a quarry, the hill, as it was then here at Newgrange. Local people made him aware of the myth and legend surrounding this site, but he chose to discount these tales and ordered his men to dig. Fortunately for us, when they began digging, they began to dig directly in front of the entrance, and the first stone to be exposed was this heavily carved entrance stone that you see here. When Campbell saw that stone, he realized that there was something of significance here. So rather than continuing to dig, he invited an eminent historian to come here to take the first drawings and recordings of the interior. From that man, we know what the inside of Newgrange appeared like in 1699. Luckily, very little has changed internally. Externally, site has changed totally in appearance. It now looks as it would have looked 5,000 years ago. Although in saying that, still one of the most commonly asked questions is, when did we put this white stone into position? The assumption being that this is something that we have added to enhance the facade or appearance of the site. A simplistic assumption to make, but incorrect. This white stone is Wicklow quartz. It's been here for 5,000 years. Its origins lie around 80 kilometers in this direction in the Wicklow Mountains. Now, 80 kilometers may not seem like a great distance today. We speak of a much different period in Ireland's development, a time when the entire country was still heavily forested, inhabited by species that no longer exist in Ireland, such as wolves and wild boar. Putting it simply, travelling overland may not have been conducive to a long or healthy lifespan. But this was a dedicated grouping of people. They wished to use the quartz in its construction, so they utilized the rivers and the sea. Movement of the quartz was impressive. But personally, I think the greatest testament to their determination and sheer endurance was the movement of the great stones, such as the curbstones, the large grey stone you see marking the perimeter. These stones weigh anything between 1 to 10 tons in weight. There are 97 marking the perimeter. In total, over 400 of these large stones were used in its construction. Moved here at a time in Ireland's history before the invention of the wheel, before the introduction of the horse as a domesticated animal. It's been estimated that it would have taken 80 men, 3 days, to move one stone 3 miles. They had to move over 400. And that was just a small fraction of the material necessary for creation. So you can imagine it took a long time to build. We are not speaking of a long-lived race of people. The average lifespan was between 30 to 35 years of age. The odds of reaching a significantly greater lifespan? Not good. So the people who began construction would have realized that in all likelihood it was to be their children or grandchildren who lived to see completion, suggesting an importance to the society as a whole, not just to a small group at one particular time in their development. What that importance was? Today, no one can say with certainty. There are many theories and a great deal of conjecture, but it is likely that whatever the religious or ceremonial reasoning behind the creation of this site, that the solar alignment, the fact that on the shortest days of the year, the sun rises above the far horizon, shines across the valley, enters the tomb, illuminating an internal chamber, played a significant part. Now that solar alignment is what has made Newgrange famous today. That alignment is not unique. There are solar alignments throughout the world. from Mayan temples in Central America to Aboriginal rock art in Australia. Even in this valley, we've only examined 3 sites in any detail. Newgrange, Knowth, Dowth. All 3 contain solar alignments. It just happens that this is the most well known. Knowth, behind Newgrange, is roughly aligned with the equinox, equal day, equal night, meaning 2 passageways at Knowth and the sun entering twice. Dowth is aligned with the setting sun on the 21st of December, entering Newgrange on the mornings of the shortest days, Dowth on the evenings of the shortest days, all achieved by a supposedly primitive Stone Age civilization. But they obviously had a vast awareness of their physical environment and a level of astronomical knowledge that the majority of people today do not possess. Yet even given all the physical evidence illustrating intelligence, such as the structure itself, today, for the most part, when one mentions the phrase Stone Age man to the majority of people, there is still an unfortunate tendency to think of something akin to the Flintstones. Not very sophisticated, not very intelligent, certainly not capable of such precision within their architecture. Yet if anything sets this structure apart, it was the technical abilities of those who created it. When they were building here 5,000 years ago, they were building with such awareness that they understood that on the shortest days of the year, when the sun rises above the far horizon to enter the chamber, the event does not occur at dawn. It occurs at local dawn. It's when the sun has risen above any obstacle. The horizon is the obstacle. When the sun has risen above that point, it is no longer in alignment with the doorway that we will use. However, it is in exact alignment with this secondary opening above the doorway, which has become known as the roof box, if you wish. The roof box acts as a VIP entrance for the beam of light. Light travels straight across the valley, straight through the roof box, straight into the chamber. We, on the other hand, we enter through the doorway, moving gradually upwards along a sloping path. 2 points do not intersect until you reach that internal chamber. In essence, what that means is the doorway that we will use can be sealed, blocking off all access as far as we are concerned from the interior. There's a large slab of stone specifically for that function just at the side of the entrance. The alignment itself will continue to occur year after year through the roof box due to the original precision of construction. It was their ability to narrow down the focus for the beam of light to such an extent that sets this structure apart. Now, a few more words in relation to the entrance stone, the heavily carved stone that you see here. The carving present has become known as Neolithic or New Stone Age art, offering us very little detail, simply a time frame. Stone Age man created the artwork. As to what the artwork means, no one knows what Neolithic art means. That, however, has not stopped a great many people writing books telling us what Neolithic art means.
It looks like sacred geometry, doesn't it?
That's one of the possibilities. It could be a ritual language. It could be hieroglyphic in the same way that you've got Egyptian hieroglyphic that we can't translate. Maybe purely decorative, art for art's sake. It could be drug-induced. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Admittedly, some of the carvings have taken on a life of their own. For example, in Ireland, probably the most famous piece of Neolithic art has become known as the tri-spiral. 3 circles, interconnected using one line, associated with life, death, rebirth, continuity, eternity. A very poetic and apt interpretation. Nevertheless, that is what it is. One of many possible answers.